I don't ever want to come off as a gear-focused channel. When I decided I wanted to start a YouTube channel, I want to primarily focus on photography in general, as well as the film simulations that are available for Fujifilm cameras. But there comes a time and place where a certain piece of equipment is needed in order to get a specific kind of shot. And that is what I want to talk about today. That is the TCL-X100 Mark II. I'm going to just call it the teleconverter lens for the rest of this video because that's a mouthful. What I think about it and share some photos that I've taken using the conversion lens. The main reason that I got this was for portrait photography. The X100V is a 35 equivalent, and I love that focal length for everyday photography, landscape, documentary, but being that 35 is quite wide, it makes it difficult for portrait photography. So I wanted to be able to zoom in on my subject without having to manually zoom in to them, and that's what this has allowed me to do. One of the biggest things that I hear people talk about is how much it affects the ergonomics of the camera. As you can tell, it does add quite a bit to the front of it. I mean, it's a large piece of glass, but I think of it as more of like a specific tool. It's not something that I use on an everyday. When I'm doing portrait photography, it goes on the front of the camera. When I'm done, it comes back off, the filter ring goes back on, and it's the compact camera that I love it for. So there's always that debate of, well, at that point you almost have an interchangeable camera, and that's true when it comes to interchangeable lenses. But being that it just threads onto the front and it's more of an adapter than an actual lens, that's where I kind of see the difference. And that's why I chose this camera, is because of how small and compact it is, and the fact that this is going to be a here and there kind of lens. It's not always going to be there. Now, when it comes to image quality, I've noticed really no difference in it. I think that the JPEGs and the RAW files look just as good. It's just at a different focal length. The camera does have a built-in digital zoom that I've used in the past, and I know that there's a lot of talk and debate about how much it affects the crop of the file and the count of pixels, but I'm not one of those people that, when it comes to pixels and overall image quality, is really too concerned. I add grain to my images anyways, so the digital zoom never really affected much. But this, for professional work, if somebody does want portraits, it allows me to capture the full sensor without having to worry about quality in the megapixels and pixels dropping. I mean, overall, it's fantastic. It does exactly what it's advertised as, and I think it looks good on the camera. I don't notice a difference in how I hold the camera or effects, anything like that. It does make it a little front heavy, but like I said, it doesn't live on the camera. It's simply there for a specific purpose, and that is for portraits.